The more you try to keep me down and keep my head above the water, you can never hold me down. The more you try to block me out, that's where I kick the wall down. You can never hold me back. The more you try to put me out, the more I'll be blazing, it's too hot. The more you try to put me in the dirt, increase my work, the expert. You see the hunger in the eyes of a survivor. Swallowed my pride, washed down with some saliva. Reinvented my whole life, mental MacGyver. One door shut, another open up brighter. Listen, battle drums in the distance, moving with enough force like army tank pistons. Pray for the strength of Jah to fight resistance. Fight mode, shields up, moving with resilience.
With the strength of 1,000 lion and the strength of 1,000 giant, please stay strong. Please stay strong. With the strength of 1,000 elephant and the strength of 1,000 tiger, we stay strong. We stay strong.
Hey everybody, welcome to Pinecase, the podcast where music is our drug of choice. Tonight it is actually Monday. I don't know what the heck is going on with our calendar. I guess Canada is not really, we're taking the holiday on a Tuesday or whatever, so I don't know how that'll sort it out. But anyways, thank you everybody for hanging out with us tonight on this wonderful evening. We're hanging out with Keepin It Cloudy, Rhode Island's one and only kid. Dude, you were around, man. I don't even want to say it's Rhode Island because you've been hanging out with everybody lately. Like, what the heck is going on in your world?
My camera cut out. What's good, guys? Keeping it cloudy. From Rhode Island, grew up there and stuff. It's a great area, very small state, but it's like right in between Connecticut and Massachusetts. A lot of people think it's actually part of New York, which is crazy, but it's its own state.
Wait, okay, whoa. Actually, I might have thought that, to be honest. So actually, no, that's not true. Tonight on I was watching actually our boy King Handsome, and he was doing this interview, and he was saying like that he was going to be on this other situation where they're highlighting people from different states, and they said Rhode Island, and I was like, I really need to go back to school a little bit and like do my, my areas and whatnot, because listen, if we don't. They keep us divided and uneducated. And I'm one of those kids that was really trying to hang out in the trails with like hot knife and a little bit of like real roaches here and there when we were learning all that stuff. So I got to play a little catch up, but
right. Wasn't paying attention too much. I don't know all my states, so it's all good.
Speaking of weed, man, like what is Weed Wars and what were you doing there? Like, I mean, I got a sneak peek, but tell the people.
It was fun as hell. So it is pretty much a cannabis cup, if you know what that is. It's there were a bunch of companies that all distribute to the dispensaries, and they had like a goodie bag where you got to taste test the weed before the show to see like who's gonna win, and then they gave out the awards to all the people, and then I did a show afterwards, which was fantastic. It was a great show, definitely fun.
That's super cool. It's so interesting how the culture around weed is come so far, right? I remember hot knifing in the trails behind the school. Like we really had to keep that stuff on the DL like not that long ago. I mean, I'm not that old.
And you get arrested for that stuff back in the day. It was crazy. And there was no stores when I was growing up. I couldn't find no store like that. And then around, I'd say I was like 24-ish when we finally got legalized. And then they popped up. And it was like, weed stores everywhere.
Weed stores everywhere. Meanwhile, everyone's still locked up doing time for their weed crimes and like that was wild too, right?
That's what's crazy. And they got like the most amount of years for such a silly drug. It's not even like you should give somebody that much like and they left them there, which is wild. I think there's a few dispensaries in my state that actually try to fund it and trying to get them out and all that, which is dope. I really hope they get those people out because that is
whoa, that's really cool.
Since, like, the 80s and stuff.
I don't even mean to laugh. It's just so ridiculous. Like the thought that now, I mean, people in my life that I would never ever expect, like even joke around. They're like making rubs with it and oils and baking
Yeah.
with it, and they're like selling it to their, their friends at the Stitch and Bitch like knitting clubs and
Yeah,
stuff. And I'm like,
yeah.
what is going on right now? And like
And,
there's
like, gas stations have that stuff too, like, I've gone into gas stations and seen THC shots and stuff. I wouldn't buy it from a gas station, I wouldn't trust it, but that's just, like, everywhere at this point. It's crazy.
yeah, I would there's a lot of things I wouldn't buy from a gas station.
Yeah, exactly. I'll stick to, like, a drink and that's about it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Something like gas station sushi, right? Like, nah, I'll pass on that.
Ooh, no.
Yeah.
Nope.
I, we got a guy for that. We got a monger for that. Yeah, you got to some shit you got to keep in the streets, right? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, very cool.
Go to
Okay, so
hibachi or something.
yeah, so tell me a little bit more about this situation. So when you were there, like, I mean, I don't want to say that you haven't been around for a little while, but do you find like different crowds kind of come with it differently? Because your music is very like, I don't want to say weed forward, but it's definitely not weed forward.
Yeah,
So
so I mean, my music's definitely weed forward slash I'm more like I have like that meditative spiritual kind of music. So when I went there, it's definitely a perfect fit, you know. They definitely vibed with it. Everybody there was vibing to the song and stuff, so it was great.
yeah, that's wicked, man. You remind me of do you know who Co Nation is? He's a Canadian, so maybe not, but um our poor music industry, right? But yeah, this dude Co Nation, you got Co Nation vibes heavy. I'm gonna have to
I'll
send you
have
it
to check
after.
them out.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
there's a collab in the future there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, you guys need to link up and yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Man, wicked. So tell me about your collab situation cuz you are not messing around with that either. Like you got some pretty amazing people that you've been
Yeah,
working with.
so, the first literally, I started my music with a collab, but I will say this, I was making music beforehand, it just wasn't professionally like that, so, my first collab was Aaron Cohen, who I was fortunate to get on his, Monday Night Raw
Mhm.
podcast, and I sent over a couple, songs, and he hit me back up and wanted to work, so I got a collab with that and then released my first professional song that way. And since then I've just been hitting up artists that I like and vibe with and I've been working with them like Dizzy Wright, DJ Hoppa, I got a few beats from him. King Handsome, great artist.
Yeah.
He sends back the work immediately too. So I'll send him like a song and it's literally like an hour. He'll send it back. The last one he sent it back in like 10 minutes. I'm not even joking. I was like, what the heck? Killed the verse and everything. I was like, holy cow, is that how does he do it? Like what? But yeah, like stuff like that I love, especially working with people. Like you get to collab with great people and then the song turns out amazing too. It's like two different minds make a great song as well.
It's wild too because well, King Handsome specifically, like he's got like collab written all over him. Like that dude leads with his heart in
Yeah,
everything, you know? And I don't want
for real.
to like and so I had a similar experience with him. I don't make music, so it wasn't quite that, but yeah, it was definitely like he once he's locked in and like that's what you're doing, then that is what he is doing then until till the end of you know what needs to be done. And so yeah, no, shout out to you guys, man. You okay, because you got a couple of cuts with King Handsome. So how did that come
Yep.
about? Like yeah, yeah, yeah.
So we just released this song called "Pay Me," and now
Mhm.
it was released the 27th of June, and then back in October we did a song called "Tropicana Cookies," which did great. That's my number one song right now. I think it's sitting at like 13,000 streams on Spotify.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
have to do the math for everything, but it's probably around 20K streams on everything, which is
Yeah.
great.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm gonna drop that in the comments for everybody right now. Cause listen, I was listening to that while I was getting ready and I'm like, this is fire. Like, I don't even really need like a good week, like a good weed anthem, but when they're done correctly, like it can really set you up for success, a good evening, a good chill sesh,
Right?
like good
That's
mindset, like
it was like I was blazing some weed when I made that beat because I produce most of my beats, so I'm sitting there smoking this strain called Tropicana Cookies,
yeah.
and I was like, "Ah, I gotta name it this," and then I started writing a song about it because it was a sativa, so it put one and one together, and it made a fire song, and actually, so King Handsome was, he made a post asking for he was like hitting up people to get features for his son so he could get some money up. And I
Yep.
was like, definitely, I want to collab with him because I've been listening to his music for a while. So one and one, the song was great and it's definitely putting numbers out. So
Dang. I love seeing that trajectory and that like whenever sorry, when people come together and then it makes something great like that. I mean, I want to see him succeed. He keeps throwing people at us too. Like I'm not even sure. Like, is that how you ended up with us over here? Probably actually.
yeah, because we've been doing a bunch of shows together and
Yeah.
stuff. And he was like, "Oh, I should hit you up." So I figured it was a great collab. And
Yeah.
here I am.
That's so wild. Yeah, okay. Listen, those are your people. You got to keep them people near you, you know? Like you got
Right?
to keep them people near you. Yeah, cuz people like that look out for you forever. Like that's real people. Real
Definitely,
people shit right
definitely.
there. Yeah, very cool. When it comes to your catalog of music, maybe you're going to be a bit biased here cuz you got some bangers that are hitting good right now, but like is there a cut that you made that is really like near and dear to your heart?
Uh, the most I mean, yeah, I'd say type 1, which is I'm a type 1 diabetic. I grew up taking insulin and stuff, so I made this anthem for, like, the kids to, like, literally you're not alone, you know? And that it's not just for diabetes, like, it's for any disease out there. It's just literally in the song I say it's the cure for the nation, so that's, like, definitely one of my deepest songs.
In the current climate that we're living in, when it comes to like health, mental health, addiction, all these things that people have been dealing with behind closed doors for all these years, because nothing's really changed, right? People just been dealing with it differently.
Yeah.
And it's amazing to me when I get to meet artists that prioritize prioritize putting work out there that puts everybody together like that. Because
Yeah.
you don't have to, you don't have to, but to create an anthem or a space or a connection for people that have never had something like that is, yeah, it's a big deal. Yeah, it's a really big deal.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
that's what I wanted it to be, and I even released it because November is Diabetes Awareness Month, so I released it around that time, and I, actually got merch out for that single, and every time somebody buys that merch, I, donate money to the Diabetes Foundation, Junior Diabetes Foundation,
That's how it's
JDRF.
done.
Yeah, and that's literally I just hope one day we all get cured, literally.
Yeah. That's how it's done, like, oh, yeah, that's how it's done. We've been doing stuff on awareness days, weeks, month, all these things, like, for a minute, and I'm like, "I don't know, do people notice or, like, is this obnoxious or whatever?" And then when it comes down to it, it's really just about the stigma that surrounds that situation, right? Like, that's really what we're here for. The cure would be lovely, but the stigma would be nice to talk about too, right? Like, if we can get that
Yeah.
out of the way a little bit and hold space for people with it. What was it like? Did it change? Because obviously if you're writing songs about it, it must have had like a pretty big impact. I can't imagine dealing with
Um,
even just the legal
Definitely. I
aspect.
mean, I still deal with it because I'll be stuck with it forever, but, so, like, it's kinda crazy because you go in and out of the hospital, and you're always talking to a doctor, and it's quite crazy, and you feel like you're the only one, but there's definitely like, growing up, I had other diabetics around me. It just like, I never talk to them or nothing. So, I feel like a lot of kids don't talk about it, which is it sucks for them, but you got people to talk to about it. It's crazy, you know? But,
Mhm.
yeah, it's a lot of dealing with, taking insulin at the right time and eating correctly, you don't have to like worry about eating like cookies or nothing like that. That's fine. Like I just got to take insulin for it. So that's another problem. A lot of people think type 1 and type 2 diabetes are the same. They're totally different. One is a like you need insulin 24/7, so you're dependent on it. The other one, you're not as dependent. You're like you have to take pills to get your insulin to start working, which is it's a very different disease. It's a autoimmune disease, so I get sick quite a bit too. So I gotta stay like away from people with COVID and stuff like that.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like, does that affect other aspects? Because I mean, even just dealing with like, maybe not being able to do what the other kids are doing, or you got to come home early to deal with this, or like if you're not feeling great, you gotta, go
Oh
check
yeah,
in or whatever. Like I mean, that alone sounds like a not
yeah,
super
so
fun.
growing up, I always had I still do, it's a backpack, and people think it's just for weed and stuff, but it's not. It's got my literal life support in my, like, insulin tester, all that stuff is in the backpack, which is crazy. So, you gotta keep that with you 24/7, and, the growing up with it is it's very hard because you're like you don't have like your mom and dad don't have it and stuff like that. Like my mom didn't, and neither does my dad. So I didn't have anybody who knew what they were actually doing to
Right.
like we were both learning at the same time.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's a crazy disease, and a lot of kids get it. It's very sad. It's very sad. A lot of kids get this, and nobody knows why either. It could be from food. It could be from anything, but it just happens to kids out of nowhere. Some of them are born with it, but I got it at age 12. I guess they said it could have been I had the flu or something, and then my body decided to start killing my pancreas, the insulin in my pancreas, and then I got diabetes. But they figured it out. So if your kid is drinking a lot of water, going to the bathroom like 24/7 nonstop, and they're always thirsty and can't like get the thirst, that's diabetes. So that's like the signs. My mom caught it. She was like, he's drinking like out of the faucet 24/7. What's wrong with this kid? And then she was like, looked it up on Google, which is crazy because Google will tell you you have cancer. But they were like, oh, it
Yeah.
could be signs of type 1 diabetes. So then my mom took me to the doctors, and they took the blood, and they were like, oh, he's got right.
Dang.
Google was right for once.
That's what, yeah, because Google could go like, yeah, one of two very, extreme ways. Well,
Yeah.
good for mom for looking out anyways, right? That's
Right.
because a lot of people will look at it, but you must have been real thirsty though, because for us to be looking at
Oh,
Google and then
no,
to take
yeah.
that
It was
serious,
she
like,
was like it was the middle of the summer, and he was more thirsty than anybody in the house. Like I was chugging water and anything pretty much, and it just felt like I couldn't get rid of the thirst. It was crazy. I was like,
yeah.
how do I fix this? And then the doctor's like, "Oh, you got diabetes." And then after that, it was like I'm sitting in classes for 24/7 to figure out how to deal with diabetes. I was like injecting fake skin with insulin and stuff just to like learn how to do it.
Whoa, whoa, wait, I didn't know that. Hold on a second. So they do like they run you through that? Like, is that the medical system that takes you through
Yeah, I have
that?
to go to
Yeah,
a
okay.
nutrient so, like, a nutritionist taught me how to eat correctly and all that. They have to figure out how much insulin my body needs to take per food. So, like, right now, it's 5 carbs, I take 1 unit of insulin. I don't wanna, like, run you through the math, it's quite a bit, but, like, so they teach you how to do that, and then you inject, like, stuff like fake it's like a fake pig skin or something like that with insulin, and they like teach you how to use the needles and like the correct amount of units and all that, because
You
as a
got the
kid
real
you had to learn how to do it, because if your mom's not there, you can't inject your arm, you got to inject your stomach, your legs,
yeah.
which it was scary at first, but I got through it.
It's interesting to me just because like, you know, we you had no choice but to just deal with that situation. I don't want to make it bigger or smaller than what it is, but the reality is that like even just keeping your backpack with you, like it's normal now because you've just been doing it for so long or
Yeah,
whatever. But that's a lot of like adjusting just to be regular, like to make sure that you're like
yeah,
safe and stuff like that. And so yeah, man, that's wild. I mean, and shout out to your school for giving you or the, for them for giving you the pig skin. I've done the naloxone training like a million times and they keep giving me like the orange and shit like real cheap. Like
yeah, yeah,
so they're
yeah,
looking out for you. But no, that's interesting. I guess I never really had to put too much thought into it, honestly. Right?
yeah. It's
Like
a
it was
lot of money too. That stuff.
yeah.
Whew, that's why there's no cure. That's just tons of money. And healthcare is the reason, like, it's so bad. So as a diabetic, I probably spend is with healthcare right now, I spend like $100 for the insulin, and it's like 3 month supply, so it's good for $100. And then I think it's $50 per box of needle, something like that. But without healthcare, it's outrageous. It's America's making tons of money off that.
Whoa, wait a second. I'm not even trying to be like super ghetto right now, but don't you guys get harm reduction supplies for free down there? Like I got cases of needles hanging out all over the place. Like, is it the
Yeah, the
same?
problem
Like,
is insulin is in a pen, so you get these little screw-on tops that go
okay,
on the yeah, and if you want, like, a pump or something, that's more money, that's, like,
okay,
technology money, so, yeah, it's
okay.
and you
Sorry, I
guys
was just
spend the money on insulin. So, at the moment, I think Donald Trump claims he made insulin go down. It went down like $10, which isn't that much. It's not that much, but it's alright. I'll take it. I'll take it.
I'm sorry. Listen, the current climate, you know what's so funny too? Like when you're like, can we like swear or smoke? Where I was like, dude, yeah, go for it. But I gotta start putting up a thing like we can't be saying the T word or something because we want to be demonetized right quick. Like that shit's wild. But I feel for
Yeah.
you guys. Like
Sorry,
I
sorry.
no, 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 no. It's totally fine. It's totally fine. It's totally fine. It's just it's crazy right now that like that has that much hold on our shit. I went my whole life never really given a shit about politics, like at all. I was like, I don't give a shit who you vote for. That has nothing to
Yeah.
do with me. There's no way that the trickle down effect is gonna come down close enough for it to even matter. Like I went my whole life without voting. This year I voted, and I wasn't even. I'm not even American. I was still out there trying to vote on you. Like,
Yeah, I feel
like,
like the
oh my
problem
god.
is, like, even when it was voted, the 2 parties is just always 2 clowns, I think, and I
Yeah.
don't mean to make fun of either party, but
No.
it's always gonna be messed up either way you choose,
Yeah.
so it's like, what do I do, you know? I that's why I never vote, 'cause, like,
Yeah.
there's nothing to vote for.
Yeah.
It's literally that, it's screwed up. The whole government's screwed up, but I don't wanna get into
No, but that's where the weed anthems come in, right? Like that's
yeah,
where they come in. That's why they're so important. Like that's where that piece of the entertainment industry, why we rely on you guys so much, man. Like for real, because the pressures are pressures and they're heavy these days. Like heavy, man. People are tripping out. Things are really happening. People really are getting demonetized over conversations like that for real. And
yep,
when you guys are out here making music to just have fun with and enjoy, like it holds so much value, man. Like so much value. So much value.
yeah, that's why I make it. That's why I'm doing interviews and all that. I
Yeah.
do it for the people. I don't do it for
Yeah.
myself. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I do somewhat for myself because it's like therapy. When I'm on the mic, I'm like spitting it's therapy for me. So it's
Yeah.
great, you know? That's why it's
Great.
like I'm always on the mic 24/7. It's my mental health. It's mental health time.
Real hungry for that mental health. Listen, like we have to take responsibility for it. And I've been saying that music and mental health are the same conversation for a while now. I'm like, it's the same thing. And then the science backed it up with the frequency. And then we talk about, what the music does for us as a consumer. We get to enjoy it, we get to catch a vibe, we get to scream to
Yep.
it, we get to whatever. And then on the flip side, we keep hearing all these amazing stories about how, just putting a pen to paper sometimes is all
Yeah.
you need in a day,
It's
right? Like
beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beauty at its finest. That's why I named my label is literally called Exclusive Therapeutic Music. That's the
Yeah.
label.
I seen that back. Listen, I seen that and I was like, I need to talk to him because why is that so important to you? I mean, obviously we just ran the gauntlet on why, but like specifically to you, like when did you figure that out that that's what works?
Just making music. It's like I pour my soul into it, so I figured that's the perfect name. Plus,
Yeah.
it's like I use ETM as the acronym, so it's like it fits perfectly. It's great. Plus, I'm keeping it cloudy, and weed is also a therapeutic drug, so it's
Mhm.
perfect. It fits great.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. When did you start putting the pen to the pad? Like were you young? Is this something kind of new?
My
Like
No, my first song was at, like, age 3. It's not, like, coherent, it's just called it was "Ooh Babia" over and over again, but that was my first song, literally. I think I was driving home from, Sesame
yes.
Place with my family, and I was so bored, I just started singing some random, but I always loved music,
That's
so I
sweet.
figured it's the perfect place.
Yeah. 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 It's always too like I don't know, it's always the same thing. Like you guys all started at the beginning. It's always kind of been around. Does anybody in your family play? I don't want to say it's the same story. I'll hear it a million times. It just makes my heart
Uh
happy that you
I
guys got to
mean,
like start
I
that
I
early.
I do have a dad that plays guitar, but
Yeah.
I mean, our relationship isn't that great. They like
Mhm.
that, so I don't really like learn much from him. But my whole family loves music, so I think that's just where I get it from. It's just I've listened to like the Beatles. I think my first favorite song is "Linger" by the Cranberries. Believe it or not.
I think it's
That's the first
secretly
favorite song I ever liked, and then
yeah.
from there, I was like, "Yeah, let me figure out what else I like," so
I honestly think that it might be like if you don't like the Cranberries or if you don't like even Alanis Morissette, I was like sharing some of her stuff. Like there is
right?
some yeah, man,
It's
she did
there's a lot of fire music out there that people blindly don't listen to.
yeah.
I
Well,
wonder if
it's
it's an ego thing or something, like, they're like, "Oh, I'm scared to listen to this because it's a female or she's not that popular," you know? It's not Taylor Swift. Like, that's what I think it is sometimes, which is crazy.
do you think it's that or do you think it's like, "Oh, I live in a space where like, black music or hip hop is like the culture of the music or like
Maybe,
we
but
can't be out here getting caught listen like cuz I hung around some
I mean, I listen to everything, so I
mhm.
like the my favorite genre of music's the blues, so I always go back to, like, Muddy Waters, Howlin' Wolf, BB King, stuff like that, and I love their collab albums. Definitely check out, Howlin' Wolf's collab album. I think it's got, like, Eric Clapton, Ringo Starr on it. It's a beautiful album, and, yeah, I've just, like I've always branched out and listened to everything, so I think there's, like, certain music that people, like, blindly listen to because they just think it's popular, you know, and then they just keep pushing that, which is crazy at this point 'cause we if I don't listen when I listen to the radio, it's always something plain and generic. That's why I do not listen to the radio. It's my
It's fu
playlists and stuff like that.
It's the that's the part that's the piece where, like, it's important to actually click on the links that people send you. Like, click on the links that people send you, and it's not a spam thing. Like, we really want you to listen to this music, you know what I mean? Like, we really gotta trust each other a little bit more because the radio is just not public radio is still pretty happening, but,
Yeah. I'll say like that it's all right, but I feel like a lot of it is it's just like what's popular at the moment and they need to like branch out and start playing like low key things, you know? Some underground music in there cuz that's literally what it was back in the day. You listen to like some disco and it'd be like some random band from out in Mississippi or something and it'd be
Mhm.
fire and you're just like, "Oh shit, what the heck is this? I got to follow this band." You know? Nowadays it's not like that. It's going to be just Drake or something like that. I mean, they will promote your music on there, but you gotta. It's a certain hour. It's not like a good hour for you. You know.
Dang, yeah, Def 3 came on here and he said that, because I grew up on the West Coast and there was a lot happening in the music scene on the West Coast when I was younger, in the 90s. Like
Yeah,
there was
definitely.
there was a lot happening, and it didn't end at the border. I mean, Vancouver was fucking popping, man, forever. Like there was always something happening, and it was in the streets. You didn't have to look too hard to find it, right? Everyone was feeding each other and hanging out, and making music, and painting and this, that, whatever. It was amazing. And so, anyways, Death 3 was a part of that scene back then. Mo Mashiri, Sweatshop Union, all the boys, and he was like, man, it's like someone took a slab of concrete and just dropped it on top of Canadians hip hop, Canadians hip hop, and then the only thing above that is Drake. And I was,
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, he has some good songs. I'll give it to him. Like I don't have a problem with his music. I just think it's time to give other people a chance. You know, definitely. I feel like he's like got the music industry in a chokehold, and he's like, nah, nobody else can get a turn unless
it's
it's sponsored by Drake. And I don't think
yeah.
people want to say it either, which is crazy.
No. And it's weird. It's like, why do we even allow it to happen? Like at some point we got to be tired of listening to the same thing
It's
over and over and over again.
it's it's just gatekeeping, a lot of gatekeeping in the music industry, and I
Yeah.
think that we all as a whole should like just group together and start working together. We can get
Yeah.
better festivals that way and stuff too,
Mhm.
because if as a whole all artists are working together, we can tour out at biggest spot in New York, New Orleans, Vancouver, wherever, and working together gets more money.
Yeah,
100%.
exactly. Exactly. I got off the show last week and I was like, we got to do a Pinecase showcase. Like, we got to get everybody that's ever been sitting right where you are all together. Cause listen,
Oh,
I
that'd
mean,
be dope.
it'd be totally happening, man. Like, totally
Hell
happening.
yeah. And do a
Yeah.
big ass show. Teamwork
Yeah.
makes the dream work. That's what
Yeah.
I always say.
Yeah. 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 No, we're definitely going to have to make that happen sooner than later for sure. For sure. For sure. Yeah, that's beautiful. Well, I don't want hearing that gives me a little bit of encouragement. I'm like, okay, there's still people out there that are still in it, that remember what it was like. Cause you don't look that old, but at least you respect what it was before, like, what you're
Yeah,
talking about. And it makes my heart warm to think that it's not just, all the old folks that are out here grumpy and growling at each other, but it's like, some of the youngins want to keep that feeling alive too. Cause
right.
yeah.
It's definitely what it needs. The music industry at this point just needs all of us to come together and stop the bullshit of like, oh, this artist, I'm better than you. Like, no, we don't need that. What we need is everybody to work together because then we can get everybody on the same level instead of it's divided and split up. Like, oh, this is I don't like you because of this or that. Like, just let's put the bullshit aside. We're all in the same industry together, and let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, calling on all the light techs and the sound techs, and we're gonna need some
Right,
security. Like,
right.
yep. Yeah,
Break
yeah, yeah, yeah.
dancers,
Yes. Yes.
etc.
Oh
Guitarists in the
man.
back, whatever. There's
Yeah.
a job for everybody. There literally is a job for everybody.
There's the sound bite right there. Like, there's a job for everybody. Yes.
Yeah, especially in the music industry. The like artwork, you got the taggers, you got the break dancers, and I think that's what people forgot is like the hip hop originated from that.
Mhm.
Doing all that stuff, taking
Y-
samples and all that, the DJs throwing parties.
Yeah. Milk the Milkman. He wants to know if we think it's achievable. If you think it's achievable, didn't even make it about me.
I'm
Wants to know
sure
if you
I'm
think it's
sure it's
achievable.
possible if people set their egos aside, and that's really what it is. It's like people are out here thinking that they're the best. Like you can be the best. Just
Mhm.
let other people be the best too, because you're the best at what you do. Doesn't mean that this person over here that's rapping totally different on a totally different beat isn't just as good. you know?
The minute that we put the egos down, well, it's not even just I agree with you. It's the egos, but it's also like we need to come together collectively with everybody
Mm,
and their
yeah.
skills. Like it doesn't have to just be the music, like you said. Like bring back the break dancers. Where's all the graffiti artists at? Like why aren't we
Right?
raising money for
Right?
toys for tot drives with the graffitis on the t-shirts and like we got all this technology, you know what I mean? All this cool ways of doing things now. We can make things real professional looking. I mean, people were doing it in the 90s with like Jiffy markers on a goddamn t-shirt. Like we can
Yeah,
actually make some
literally
real high
break
class.
dancing on cardboard and
Mhm.
stuff, like, what?
Mhm. Yeah. Like the fact.
Literally taking, like, a old amp for a guitar or whatever and bringing it out with a microphone and just doing their thing, you know? That's literally where how it originated from, and I think people need to stop and go, "Oh, we need to go back to that," like, it's the roots that will bring it back, you know?
Yeah.
Because I think people nowadays only follow, oh, what the trend is, or I'm only watching this video because this guy's popping or whatever. But a lot of videos on YouTube get like overshadowed because of that and stuff, which is crazy. It's sad, sad world we live in. It can definitely get better though. I can definitely help to make it better at this point.
Yeah, bring the
My
people
music, yeah.
together. Mhm.
With music, with, like, everything at this point, we need it because we're going back to craziness. It's like COVID round 2 almost.
Ooh, don't say that. No, no,
Yeah, it feels
no.
like it though,
I
that's what
know.
it's crazy.
What do you think that is? Like, do you think what do you think's creating that? I know it's kind of a big question, but I'm just curious, like, what your perspective is on why we're going back to like isolation and
The
individuality.
craziness?
Yeah.
I honestly don't know. I think it's to do with their phones, to be honest. A lot of people just stick to their phones and what their phone tells them to do. And that's about it. I feel if we all stop and just take a fresh breath of air outside and maybe take a walk in nature and be active, we can start living better lives. Cause that's what I do. I wake up in the morning, do a couple push-ups, sit-ups, go for a jog, and enjoy the day. You definitely need to enjoy every day.
Like some of us need to be reminded, and it sounds so simple, but some of us really need to be reminded that it is just that easy, right? Like it doesn't have to be complicated. Just like go outside, breathe the fresh air, put the sun on your cheeks, hang it,
Right?
talk to your neighbor, man. Like say,
Right?
hey, what's good over the fence? Like, you know.
I haven't talked to my neighbor in years. I don't know if that's also another thing. I don't like what happened with being friendly to neighbors is beyond me because it used to be like that. Like I knew my neighbor pretty well and I would play on their basketball hoop and stuff. I don't know my neighbor like at all. Now it's crazy.
It's crazy. I We need to bring back that small block mentality, even in the big cities. Like bring back that small. I want to know that when I leave,
Yeah.
if I, like, because I got caught up, at grandma and grandpa's or whatever, and I left my garbage can out. That you're gonna bring my garbage can back to my house just to make it look like somebody's coming and going from there. Like that's the type of people, you know what I mean? Because that's the type I
Yeah.
do that. Like if my neighbor's gone for a minute and they're the last garbage can, like I'll drag it back. No problem.
Yeah, I'm lucky to have a close friend that lives by, so if I need, like, my dog fed or anything and I'm out on a trip or whatever, he got my
Yeah,
back, which is great.
nice.
It's great to have, like, good friends like that because if you can't trust them, there's no reason to have them around, and that's on it.
Yeah.
That is 100%.
Yeah. When well, I don't even want to take it to a negative place actually because you're such a ball of light, so we don't even need to go there. But what is like how do you keep yourself for like in that positive space all the time? Like do you really go outside and do those push-ups? Like do you really like
Yeah, I like meditating too. Meditation is definitely great. I love that. I like smoking weed and being active is honored. That I like playing basketball too. But yeah, I just recently started playing ball because my park across the street was getting worked on, so the whole thing was like under construction. So I couldn't even run there. I had to go run around like the little circle area in my neighborhood, which is straight. So I still got running in, but now my park is beautiful. I'm like, holy shit, they got like a whole it's like the almost like a American Ninja Warrior type thing, like a obstacle course type thing. It's pretty dope.
Yeah, okay, okay,
Yeah,
yep, yeah. Your community came together and spent that pothole money on the on
all
making.
day, and we still
Yeah.
got potholes.
I live on the street where like the old mayor lived, so my road's mint, right? Mint. But
Yeah.
you need like 4 by to get down like one block behind me. Like it is so bad. And I was like
Uh,
everyone's tore right up except for us. I'm
I'm
like, oh
just
man.
I'm just convinced that my state uses really, really bad asphalt because they're always on the roads doing the roads and they're torn up a week later. I'm not even lying to you. It's just like what is going on? It keeps them working, I guess. It keeps them
Yeah.
working. So that's a good thing, but it's still not good for cars.
It's secretly just like traffic controller. I don't know. That whole setup is kind of janky though, for real. Like, why is it that every summer, like every highway is looking the exact same? Like the exact same.
I
Doing the
think
same shit
this
always. Like
it's either it's gotta be the salt they're using or something. My states, they don't start they don't start like actually pushing snow until there's like a good amount. So I think that's another reason as well. So they're also tearing up the street with the plows and all
yeah.
that,
Yeah.
which sucks. But this year, luckily, it didn't snow that much, but the roads still suck.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell you're talking about because I live in Canada and it's like
Yeah,
crazy.
that's why I'm like close to Canada, but not that close, so I don't get that much snow. But we definitely do get some snowstorms out here, which
Your
suck.
guys your guys' weather has been mad crazy though. Every time I see what's going on down there, and that's another thing too. We don't even have to get into all of that, but it's bizarre to me that the human condition, we expect the same thing every single year, and yet we don't set
Oh,
up for
not
that at
not in
all.
Rhode Island. I
Oh,
expect
okay.
one day it's gonna be pouring rain, the next day it'll be 90 degrees, and then the day after that it'll be snowing. That's how it is in Rhode Island. You can't expect the weather to be good here. Like it will be good for a few days. Like spring, it's nice sometimes, but this spring was kind of cold, so we didn't really get much of like real nice weather. But like fall sometimes is nice too. We get like a few weeks here that will be like great to like go outside and be like enjoying it. But the rest of the time it's like very hot or really cold.
Do you think that that contributes to all the amazing artists that seem to be coming out of Rhode Island right now? Like,
Oh yeah, because we're always inside making music, especially all winter. I'm sitting there making beats all winter. That's all I
yes.
do, make beats and then sit there and write music, which is great, but it's like you it's very humid in the summer here. So like right now it's probably like 70% humidity or something like that, which sucks, but it's all right. But that's why the West Coast is great because you got like no humidity at all out there.
I don't know what
Zero
you're
on the West Coast. Well, it
what?
depends on the spot. Like my sister's area, there's zero humidity. It's just pure heat. Humidity is
Man,
like it's sticky. You feel like you're walking through something, but that you're
that's
not.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
just
yeah. But that
water.
is like the West Coast. So like no, I mean the way like where I grew up, but it was like right on the ocean. It was hella humid. Like not Jamaica type humid,
Yeah,
tropical
yeah.
humid, but it was like pretty humid. It wasn't until like moved to like what you guys would call like the Midwest that I was like, this shit's dry. Like this
Yeah,
Carolina here is
Arizona
hella
is really
dry.
dry.
Yeah.
I think yeah, it depends on the part of California maybe, but like where my sister's at, there's zero humidity usually. It like never rains. That's why there's always wildfires and all that because it doesn't rain like that.
Yeah, you must like kind of like the Okanagan type area. Where I grew up,
Eh,
it rained so much that the suicide rate was like 4 times higher than anywhere else in the world.
Sheesh, that's crazy. Wait,
Yeah,
whereabouts?
like Vancouver Island, like the
Oh,
west.
okay.
Yeah, like so the west coast of Canada, and I would imagine the numbers probably stay similar down the coastline. To be honest, well, I
I
guess
don't
not if it's
know.
not
I
raining,
think
but
I
like
think Washington is where it stops because the Washington State is super humid because it's like always raining there. But after, I'm pretty sure
yeah,
Oregon is like dry over there
right,
because
right, right.
like
They got
old
the
people
sand
love
dunes and
Oregon because it's
yeah, they
like
do.
dry.
Yeah, they
Yep,
do.
yep. I think that's where it stops is Washington
That's the suicide because it was like to a point
because it's
where
always
it
pouring out there.
it was getting weird. Like people were dropping left, right, and center, and like a friend like there was like I don't even know 6 or 7 suicide deaths like in our friend
Oh,
group, like in our
that
friend
sucks.
group. Man, it was wild. And then one of the families actually ended up doing like they they actually took his remains and took it a step further and did a bunch of research and had like his brain analyzed and things like that. I'm trying to be respectful, but the truth is that they were
Yeah.
like, this is fucking crazy. All these dudes that hang out together are all taking themselves out. They're all successful. They're all living their lives. There's nothing really contributing
Yes.
to like, you know what I mean? No one was really saying anything wild. Like,
Yep.
it wasn't people that were obviously depressed. They all had, families or careers or and like they're out golfing, hanging out, snowboarding, skiing. Like these dudes are not just hanging, they're not even like kicking it inside. Like these people are outside doing shit, man. And it was like boom, 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 boom. And it just kept happening. And it turned, yeah, they came up with a couple of conclusions. One, that there is like an actual bacteria that's a strain of staph, which if it's
Oh,
left untreated will actually can actually give you suicidal thoughts, and it like goes up
oh.
your brainstem, and it's like has a massive effect on men, specifically their mental health. So that was an issue. If that runs rampant in a in a community and gone untreated, then that could definitely contribute to like the men's suicide rate numbers. And then the other thing too that they came was like the weather directly affected what was happening, that they sat in in cloudy conditions for like 51% of the time, and it was like further than like
Yep.
suicidal or suicide
I think
suicide
that's everybody
seasonal
gets it
depression.
around,
Yeah.
yeah, seasonal depression. Everybody
Hmm.
gets it around Christmas time because it
Yep.
starts getting cold and you're stuck inside and it's
Yep.
dark early. Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Yep.
that definitely would probably do it. But the
I actually
staph infection thing is great to know. I kinda wanna know what kind of staph infection it is just in case, you know?
yeah, you
That's
got it.
wild.
You gotta
That
put
is
yourself
wild.
first, right? Like, you gotta go and
Yeah,
do your
your body is a
check-ins and
temple,
stuff. Mhm.
100%. Your body is a temple.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, weird that we're having this conversation because today in class, I learned that seasonal depression goes both ways, that you can actually get seasonal depression in the summer as
Oh,
well. Like,
yeah.
people have
I think I saw an article explaining it because it's like a
mhm.
hay fever almost, where you get, like, stir crazy because 'cause you're, like, locked
Yeah.
up inside all winter, and then you're, like, released and you feel like you have nothing to do, so you get, like, really depressed. I was
Yeah.
reading an article on that. That's
That's
crazy.
that's wild. I had no idea. I thought it was, like, so specific to, like, the winter and it being cold, da, 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 and it
No,
was like,
I
no, it's
guess it's
actually
all it depends on the time of year or something, but yeah,
yeah.
it happens. It's crazy.
It is crazy. Wild, wild, wild. Speaking of the summer, what do you got going on? Like, what can everyone look forward to? What's happening in your world
New
that's on the
music,
horizon?
100% new music dropping in July, so at the end of July, I'm gonna be dropping a song called "Fly Away" with, AC Too Cold, my boy, and then I just dropped a song, June 27th with King Handsome called "Pay Me." That's a
Yeah.
collab track, my first ever collab track, because I didn't know how to do it right on, DistroKid, but I ended up
Mm,
getting it through, and it's on both of our pages, so if you look up King Handsome, it will pop up on his page, and it pops up on mine, which is dope, and you can see, there'll be definitely more music coming from both of us, and yeah, I'm trying to get some more shows going and stuff out in my state, so you'll definitely see a lot coming from me.
Yes, yes, yes. You guys don't sleep on this kid, honestly. Go, I threw the links all in the conversation in the chat. So you guys go and like, follow, share, subscribe, and throw it into your goddamn playlist because you will not be disappointed. I didn't know I never know what to expect. I'm steady blessed. I get to sit here and hang out with amazing people, but it's just such a gift that I get all the time where I get these amazing artists. And then I'm like, yeah, I'll play it, put it on, whatever, open up the windows and hang out. And I like put your music on and I was just like, what the fuck? This is so fun. Like it was such a vibe. So yeah, you guys go ahead and go and make sure that you got them locked in everywhere. And it comes up for like reels and all sorts of stuff. So like that, I don't know. I always,
you can put it on your TikTok, all that. It's on every platform.
Yeah. Awesome. Before we wrap this up, I just want to take the time to say like it actually is a huge blessing. I know that I say that, I don't say that just to say that. I really do appreciate your time. I take it as a donation to the Pinecase mental health and music project for everybody that sits there. And when you can bring so much interesting information, the diabetes thing is not a topic I don't think that we've really covered a whole ton. And I know just much like the song that you made, like there's people out there that can relate to it and appreciate you taking the time to talk about it. So thank you so much.
There's a lot of struggle and mental health with it too. So it's definitely great to like uplift the youth with that because you're not the only one struggling.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And the same thing with the rest of our conversation, man. You can't you came through with all sorts of interesting stuff. I'm going to be thinking about it for the rest of the day now. Like we gotta make sure that we can get this information out there all over the place so people know where to go. For you guys in the comment section that is hanging out with us tonight or just joining us or seeing this on the repeat, you can give us a call, 250-289-3948. That is our Pinecase warm line. It is run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week by our wonderful volunteers. You're not always going to catch me. Well, you can, but they're amazing over there. Sometimes it's myself, sometimes it's Calico, sometimes it's both. If you guys text in your name and your location, we can get the resources in your community sent right into the conversation. So as we're chatting and making sure that you're cool, we can make sure that you have all the right tools in place before we leave the conversation. And don't worry about what the reasons are. We don't really care. If you're having a stressful day or your girlfriend's driving you crazy or someone kicked your dog, whatever, all that stuff is valid because your feelings are valid. So go ahead and use that number. And the national suicide number is #988. That one's the big dogs. We've called it a couple of times to make sure that they're cool. They're also trained professionals in crisis management. It is, I don't want to say it's not going to be in the States for very long, but as of right now, it's still in place. So that's #988. You guys go ahead and use that one as well. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. Keeping it cloudy. You're such a beautiful soul, man. Wow. What a thing. Like I said, it's just such a privilege. So thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us tonight at Pinecase.
Thank you. And y'all can check me on Keeping It Cloudy at any platform, Instagram, TikTok, X, I think it's called now. I'm on everything. So just look up Keeping It Cloudy. No G in it.
There you go. Now you know. We'll see you guys later. Take care of each other. Support one another. And if you need it, reach out. We got you guys. Take care, and we'll see you next Tuesday. Bye.
Please stay strong.
The further you take my rights away, I'ma run to it, refuse to hear my voice. Speak loud when I spit it, but you don't get it. You just wanna be a side critic. See somebody else showing hate in the side of the road with it. Now how would you feel standing on the sideline and watch the color of a nation deteriorate over time? The flag real high, but compassion 6 feet below. Now you're searching for that justice that decided to never show. Deny my place, I'm back with a trace. Keep up the pace, tight lace, game face. Get back in the race. Whatever they did could never be undone. Every dark night ends with the rising of the sun. Squandered every wealth that's built from the mud. Squandered every wealth that's built from the blood. Squandered every wealth that's built in chains. Stolen from the ancestors running through my veins.
With the strength of 1,000 lion and the strength of 1,000 giant, please stay strong. Please stay strong. With the strength of 1,000 elephant and the strength of 1,000 tiger, we stay strong. We stay strong. We stay stay strong.
I can see, run to the light at the end of the tunnel, winner.
We stay strong.
I can't breathe, we're gonna get oxygen without the justice system.
We stay strong.
And I know, gotta keep my head together.
We stay strong.
Don't doubt me, please don't doubt me.
We stay strong.
Tell me how can we be strong if we still shooting? Tell me how can we be strong if we still looting? Tell me how can we be strong if we still hating? Please tell me now, please.